Oh, hi! I was about to grab a book. I thought I was alone. How are you, Audra? Can you guys hear me? Is my mic working? I don't know, because last time I did this, I was with Mariam, and she took care of everything. Hello, hi, Fefi. Hi, another lemon tree. What's your name? Hi, Peach Girl. Hi, Petra. Hi, Vision. Daisy. Oh my God, there's so many people already. I thought I would have like max 3 or 5 people, and now I'm feeling shy. No, I was thinking of reading a book while everyone comes around because I don't plan to do any makeup or anything. Ah, Isabella's a beautiful name. Hi, Mar. Yay! It would have been kind of embarrassing, wouldn't it? Because, like, I always say, oh, I work in IT, I do troubleshooting, desktop, whatever, and then not have my own live working. And the thing is that I hate doing IT troubleshooting at home. I'm allergic to it. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Gin Tonic. I'm sorry if I call you guys by your usernames. Lauren is also a beautiful name. Oh, thank you, Audra. My God. Oh, gonna blush. What's everyone up to this wonderful, wonderful weekend? Do you guys want to chat about anything in particular, or should I just try to stumble my way around this live? Oh, absolutely no worries, Stinky Eggs. God, I'm so sorry. I'm not calling you guys by name. Oh, I hope you have a great day at work, honestly. Thank you, Emily. They're 2 days old plates. When I wash my hair, if I want my hair to have a bit of a curl and not like the anemic wave that it naturally is, I just plait it. Oh my God. Andrea Marica, is that like literally Andrea Marica? I actually know her in real life. She's my friend. Hi, thanks for joining. Oh yeah, I saw your update, Fefi. I hope you feel better soon. At least your stomach isn't giving you trouble. Um, it kind of depends. I have been thinking of changing my username too, simply because Mia's virtual vanity is a mouthful. But I've seen that nowadays the trend is to have your own name or something that looks like a proper name. Um, and if you do start a channel, I suggest thinking of names, see kind of what resonates with you, and see if ask yourself these following questions. One, would I remember this name if it were a channel that I enjoyed? Two, or is this name catchy? Is it memorable? And three, is it unique? Is there anyone else with any similar names? Oh, hi. Hi, Mariam. So happy you're here. Hi. Thank you. Fefi, there's always Photoshop. Like, I'm not going to lie, if I want to do looks, but I look like the undead because I've not gotten a lot of sleep, I'm not above just photoshopping some extra concealer on. Because, like, the focus is on the looks, it's not on the rest of my face. Yeah, then if there's nobody else with your real name, think about it, because it might affect your real life. Depends what you want your channel to be, because if your employer searches for your name, then they might find the channel. For me, I've got quite a particular name for Romania, so I avoided using my real one. Oh yeah, I love that nameplay vision of you. It's really nice. Oh my God, Audra Roddy girl. That's such a like a MySpace name. Like I remember my first like online username was Mary Cherry, and then Sugar Kid, and other such cutesy, itsy bitsy types of names. Just make a list. I think it's really useful to get. Or oh hi Maitre, hi. I think it's really useful to make a list, maybe do a poll among friends and family or whoever you're comfortable with, them knowing that you have a channel and get their opinions as well. Because sometimes we think we have the best ideas and eventually we realize that they're not like that great outside of our head. Thanks, Ellen. Wow, Love Scout. That kind of sounds cool. Hi, Emily. Oh my God, I'm so happy that so many joined. I think I picked the date and time right, right? Because I tried to find a time that would work for both people in Europe and people in the US, and that was a struggle because it's like 6 or 7 hours of difference, which makes it a bit hard for me to keep. Oh, thank you, Hannah. I'm so happy you're here. Hi. Hi. Truly, it's a party of cool people. Oh, I'm so happy. This is going so well. My ego is going to get so big. I'm going to get such a big head. Thank you. Thank you, Emily. It's just the room in which I keep my vanity, and it's got good, like relatively good lighting. Oh yeah, I completely understand Evil Cupcake because um my real name got misspelled by the dummy that wrote my birth certificate, so it's really easy to find me if I use my real name. Oh God, I wish it worked that way, Maitre. I wish I had more eyelid space. And I don't know if it's like weight gain or age, but I'm starting to lose lid space and I don't like it. And if it's one, it's easily like it's easily resolvable. If it's the other, I'll just have to make do with what I have, but I'm still unhappy. Ah, that's good. It's 1 p.m. It's like reasonable. I've seen that other US time zones at like 11, 12 in the in the morning, and I was like, okay, that's fine. That's doable. Oh yeah, definitely. Gravity fucking sucks. Like, okay, I understand that you want to take my titties with you, but can you just at least leave my lid space alone? I mean it's dumb that it's so common to have names misspelled. Like the dumbest thing is that mine is really easy. It's like really easy. I don't know what the fuck they did. Like probably the person that wrote our certificates were drunk. Hi, Megan. Oh God. But I was regarding lid space. I was actually watching this new Netflix show that's with plastic surgery. And I was actually like making a list. I was like, oh, once I hit like 35, 40, this, and this, and this, and this, I want done. And I thought that it was going to be like a super chill, super light, kind of a vain type of show, just something that doesn't need many brain cells. And then in the first episode, it was something like, oh, such and such person came to us because she got shot 9 times by her husband, and then he shot himself and the kids. I was like, oh wow, I did not sign up for that. Hi, Isabel. Hi, Julia. I hope I said hello to everyone. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Oh, yeah, name changing I think is a huge clusterfuck everywhere. Like my trans friend is trying to get her name changed in the UK to like her actual name and not her dead name. And she told me she's like been ping-ponged through different authorities and asked to get such and such documents and then go to the embassy and then go do that and then go do that. I'm like, why is it so hard to change your stupid fucking name? But why? Because Mariam is like a it's an easy name, and it's, I mean, I don't understand why they would have such a hard time with it. Or is it like the last name that they're struggling with? I mean, I don't understand, man. The government just slaps numbers on us, like personal identification numbers, then identification certificate numbers, and then they still make it so hard to change your name. Like, I'm already all matrixed up with a fucking barcode on me. Why is it so hard to change my name? Hi, Ali. Honestly, Fefi, if it's just like an inversion, I wouldn't even bother with how hard it is to deal with that bullshit. The fun thing is that if I actually changed my names, it would actually match all of the documents that people misspelled all over the years. Yay, Audra. Keep all your fame for yourself. Hi, Ellie. Me and my guy actually always have little arguments over this because he's not big on marriage. I insist on marriage. And he's like, well, if you want us to get married so bad, I want you to take my last name. And I'm like, but my last name is so cool. Why can't we hyphenate it? Hi, Alex. Oh my God, hi. So glad to see you on YouTube as well. Oh man, but you know what the fun part is with names? It's just that they're so particular to the region or at least continent or language family that you are in. And it's really weird when you encounter people from other language families and you struggle to figure out if that's like a female name or a male name. For example, when I started working with South Asia, particularly Sri Lanka, it took me a bit of time to realize that their names have different rules than ours. And you've got a lot of male names that end with A, whereas here, 90% of female names are the ones that end with A's, and very rarely do you have a name that ends with A that is for a guy. And we would have like really funny encounters where they would be like, I want to speak with Romano, and I was my last name, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's me. And it's like, isn't that a guy's name? No, that's my last name, but it's not a guy's name. I'm so sorry, I'm just babbling all over. And then I had colleagues named Charita, Laline, Chaminda, and I was like, I expected to speak to a girl, and then I would encounter a guy, and I filed that away for future reference. Oh my God, funny story about my Trey's name. There's actually a book that Romanian kids study in school, literally named after her name. It's a good book, but the author was a bit of a creep to the eponymous main character of the novel. Hi, Karen. Hi, Amanda. God, I hope I'm not missing anyone. You know, Vivi, it took me a long time to realize that people would be interested in what I have to say as is and not necessarily in what I have to say just when I have something to offer them. And I still struggle with real life friendships because I mostly tend to talk about common hobbies and stuff like that instead of talking about what I do and what I feel. So people think that I'm a bit cold towards them, when in reality it's just that I'm not, I'm not used to talking about myself. which is a very ironic thing to say as a YouTuber, isn't it? I'm so happy there's so many people. Oh, I'm gonna cry. And it's like, it's so many people. It's people from real life, it's people from Instagram, it's people from here. I'm feeling so supported. I love you. It's my tray, Karen. And before I'm mispronouncing it too. I know, right? Like at my former job, so not this current one, the girls there would bond by talking about what they did last night. Oh, they went out with friends, they went out with family, stuff like that. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I'm not used to bonding that way. So I ended up not making any friends at that job because we didn't have any hobbies in common. I wasn't particularly, used to talking about myself and what I did last night and whatever. So I ended up feeling really, really alone at that job. Fefi, the internet is such a godsend. Like, we can finally be funny in peace and like find our people. God, it's so hot here. It's like 40°C and I'm melting. Oh God, yeah, I'm really happy with all of the wonderful people in the chat. Like, a lot of smart people, smart creators. Love it. I love it. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, same here. I'm so awkward in person too until I realize that that person actually likes me, and I have a hard time making friends because I always wait to be approached first because I don't want to seem like I am encroaching into someone's personal space or overstepping my boundaries. And people end up thinking I'm stuck up, and I'm like, I'm just fucking shy, guys. Please make friends with me. Oh God, yeah, I love the internet. I mean, imagine if we weren't on the internet and if we were like in the 18th century, we would have been friendless and probably dead by now at the stake or in a witch hunt or whatever. Like this century is the best time to be a woman currently, especially in developed countries. And I'm like, I don't get people that are very, oh, I wish I lived in Victorian times. And I'm like, do you though? Do you really wish you lived there, or do you just like the aesthetic? Because I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't want to go to toilets in Victorian times, like crinoline and 10 pounds of skirt and like not have rights and be married off at 16. Oh, I don't remember who I was speaking with, Emily, about. We're lucky it's a pandemic in 2020 because imagine being the average Joe like 200 or 300 years ago. You wouldn't even have books. Books were only for the elite of the elite. You would be out there plowing your field, probably getting the plague and then dying in like 2 weeks for lack of medication. Yes, exactly, Fefi. Like, I've seen a lot of vintage TikTokers being very pissed that Melanists and red pillars hit on them because they're like, oh, you're a woman like in the olden days with olden values. And they're like, no, fuck you, go away. Oh yeah, truly, truly, Alex, you're right. It's in your blood, my Trey. Oh God, yeah, Audra, that's a great point. Yikes. Like anything before the 70s would be a no-go. Love your hat, Fefi. Live your best aesthetic life. Oh, Ellen, it's like vintage outside, rebel inside. But it's so dumb because it's like an aesthetic doesn't necessarily define you, and people are so quick to label you so easily just because it's easier for them rather to end up knowing you and have all of their knowledge discounted or whatever. English is hard. Look, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't want to have lived before the 80s. Like before the 89 Romanian Revolution, I wouldn't have wanted to live in this country, period. Hi, Tarima. Oh, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Oh God, exactly. And I'm so mad at Romanian idiots that are very nostalgic for communist times and interbellic times. And I'm like, did you love starving? Did you love self-censorship because your neighbors would have gone to the Securitate and told the government that you dared think freely? Like, what exactly are you missing from that time? What exactly? Especially the interbellic nostalgia is super funny to me. Because they really do think that they would be the cultured elite that would live in the cities instead of probably being one of the peasants that made 90% of the population, and they would like basically shit in their yard or something and starve most of the winter. Like, oh my God, Julia. Honestly, it's so weird. Like, we don't have homeowners associations in Romania, and it's so strange that you guys would have it. Like, for a country that screams about liberty all of the time, this like fascist neighborhood organization doesn't sound like something people would come up with. And I heard that they were a bit entrenched in racial politics, as in they for very many years they tried to keep neighborhoods out of reach for Black people and just keep the people that they thought would be appropriate. Oh, thank you. I'm happy I got your name right. Yeah, Hannah, thank you. Well, you know what's the hardest thing about knowing more languages? You end up not being sure of whatever you say in any language. Like, I sometimes write a sentence in Romania and I have to double check it with my boyfriend. I'm like, does such and such sentence sound correct grammatically? And oddly enough, I think I'm better at English than I'm Romanian at Romanian because I speak English 80% of my day, including at work with a lot of my friends. Like, I know longer words in English than I do in Romanian. The Romanian Academy of Languages would be so disappointed. God, exactly, Miriam. That sounds gorgeous, Ellen, especially the rollers. Oh yeah, agreed, Karen. And it's easier to pick up other languages too, especially if you know languages from a similar language family. So let's say you know Romanian and Italian, it would be easy for you to pick up Spanish because they're quite similar, and then it would be quite easy for you to pick up French. And if you know, for example, English, then it's easier for you to pick up German, which is a bit similar, than to pick up Italian, which is from another entire language family. Oh, don't even get me started on accents and how people dismiss other people just because of their accent or not speaking fast. It's particularly annoying because you see this being a pattern where Western accents aren't, you know, aren't that badly viewed. But if you are someone from a non-Western country and you speak English with your accent, people look at you differently, which annoys me incredibly because in other continents in Asia, Africa, for example, the language families are so much different than what we have in Europe. So for someone from South Asia, for example, or Eastern Asia, it is much harder to speak English. So it is a testament to their intelligence that they manage to pick up English when none of their base language words are anything similar to that. Sorry, I just went on a full-blown rant. Sorry for yelling at you guys. Thank you guys for indulging me in my daily rants. Oh God, I hate that. Wow, you speak such good English, shite. Especially when it comes to some British dudes that misspells like 3/4 of his emails. Like, yeah, I speak good English, bitch. Why don't you? You know what I heard, Angie? I heard that and I hope I didn't mispronounce your name too. I heard that when you switch writing systems and syntax systems, so when you switch from something that has a structure of subject, verb, and then the rest of the sentence, to something like Chinese or Japanese that is icon based and has a different sentence structure, your brain structure also changes to adapt. And I found that really, really interesting. Like my little Japanese knowledge from all of the anime I watched is actively changing my brain. Weebs may be onto something, guys. Oh God, that's awful, Feffy. I would have given them so much shit. And yeah, Karen, like I don't understand the lack of patience. Like you know one language, one goddamn language, and you misspelled that as well. Who the fuck are you to critique my second or third language skills? Oh, thank you. It's because I read a lot. So when you do end up reading a lot, you end up picking up patterns of speech and stuff. It's just it's not entirely my it's not entirely on me. It's also on the things that I read. Truly, languages are magic. You're right, Ellen. I'm so sad that oh, bye, my Trey. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great evening or day or whatever it is. You know, it was kind of sad that I couldn't get to have a profession with what I did in college. Like I'm happy to work in IT and I'm good at it, but I sometimes miss translating and language studies and all of that. But on the other hand, I don't want to starve, so I'm not gonna go with that. Oh, Ellen, what I like to read. So it's just anything that. Oh, hi, Angelica. Hi, thank you for joining. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. To return to the books topic, I like to read anything that isn't rooted in reality because if I wanted to be like miserable or sad or find out what happens in real life, I just turn on the news. I like fantasy, mythology, poetry, or collections of like interesting facts, interesting world things, stuff about geography, space, sci-fi. So anything that isn't rooted in real life or that shows the magic in everyday life, that's what I like reading. Oh, Fefi, don't even get me started on the fan fiction. Like, I've got my Goodreads goal to meet, and instead of reading actual books, I'm reading 90-something chapter Naruto Harry Potter crossover fan fictions. And I'm like, I don't even care at this point. I will shamelessly read all of the fan fiction that I want. Exactly, Angie. If I wanted real life, I would go outside and have a social life. My media is for escapism entirely. Wow, so that is super impressive. Super impressive. You know what I've been reading that has been romance? Nora Roberts. And it's so good. So, so good. Do it, Ellen. Chase your dreams, even if it's like through correspondence. If you can't go to a regular degree, chase your dreams. Get that mythology, classics, myths degree that you want to get. We have to stand, Mariam. Badass science woman. Well, I reckon, Megan, that it's like working out. You have to work out those brain muscles to sit down and read so much. Oh God, Tarima, I think that everyone that's kind of nerdy in adulthood went through a period where they were either into Greek mythology, Egyptology, or dinosaurs. You know what I really liked from Nora Roberts, Safi? I like the Pagan Stone trilogy, which is romance and horror. Then the Gallagher's of Aldern, something like it. The Gallagher's trilogy, Jewels of the Sun. That's Fairy Tales of Ireland with romance. And then there was another one, the Three Sisters Island trilogy, which is Wiccan fantasy with romance. Hannah, you will love what I just got with my August budget. Let me just... So there's this brand called ZC who collaborated with the English Museum, and they created Egyptian themed makeup. And the packaging is so heavy for this stuff that I could throw this to someone's head and it would split it open. It's so pretty and luxe, and I'm so happy that I spent my August budget in advance for it. Yes, and wait. This is not even like the best thing. I got lipstick as well. And let me see. And it's got all of these cartouches with the pharaohs on it. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's got little, come on, focus. I'm on my phone, so it doesn't want to. It's got these little indentations and things on the actual lipstick bullet, like so pretty. And I also got this powder here, look. And I can't wait to make a video on them because they're so beautiful. They're literally works of art. They're literally that kind of jewelry makeup. Oh yeah, I know it was limited edition, but they have their own store and they still sell shit on their own store. It's Zessie, pronounced it's Zessie written as Zebra Echo Sierra Echo Alpha. Exactly as Megan wrote it. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. And they also have some with Picasso and stuff. I think that they're trying to sell remaining stock on their official stores. Hannah, if you game even a little bit, play Assassin's Creed Origins because it is set in ancient Egypt and it is so faithful and well done, and you actually do interact a bit with the religious part of it as well, and it is fabulous. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm sorry, Fefi. I'm such a bad influence. Oh, Alex, a bit of gossip. I watched that video from Rachel Maxey, and apparently that Egyptologist chick is a bit of a bitch. So I heard that she did some really shady things at the college that she works for. So I'm not sure, man. I was ready to stand, and then I found out the gossip, and I'm like, okay, I'll just admire from afar. But Rachel is a sweetheart. I always watch her. I love her. She makes me want to start up sewing my own clothes, which is really funny because I can't even mend my own clothes properly. Like I'm good at mending stuff, but it's not particularly pretty. It's functional. True drama, but there's drama everywhere. Like at this point, I think I need to like have a notebook or something to keep track of all of the brands and all of they did and have a timeline. At this point, I'm gonna have to be more informed than actual drama channels. Oh yeah, Alex, I remember we chatted about that on Twitter. I think it was Twitter, yeah. I fucking love Twitter. It's such a mess, but I love it, and that's where the culture is. Yeah, yeah, you're right. There is a bit of a lack of representation of NB kind of in all sorts of fashion spaces, except I would say maybe the more modern cyberpunkish ones tends to attract an androgynous and MB people. Here for the tree. Oh God, that's such a dad joke. I love it. Oh, Angie, but isn't it funny how something is on fire on the beauty community in Twitter like weekly? Like weekly. And there's these women that are like the big players, and there's always some drama with them, just like on YouTube. And I'm like, can't you guys do your looks, mind your business, and stop trying to be shady with each other? Like, is it really that hard? Oh my God, Ellen, you have to share pictures with us at a certain point because that sounds beautiful. What's a teddy boy, teddy girl? Like what's that aesthetic? I would Google it, but I'm literally filming on my phone, so can't do that. Oh God, and they're like, that's so true, Angie. And like the vague tweets about your fave is doing this and this and this and that. I'm like, who's fave? Who is fave? Because if they were my fave, I would have figured it out. And then 10 comments of who is it, sis, and T emojis and like eye emojis. And I'm like, either fucking say it with your whole chest if someone is problematic, or vague tweet about a situation or a topic, not about a person. Oh, okay, that makes sense. 1950s. Yeah, that's a cute aesthetic. Oh, that's beautiful. I'll keep in mind your Insta. Oh, Mariam, you would think we were over high school, but alas, nah. Some people end up at pension age and still not over dumb high school behavior. Yeah, but there's vague posting and there's vague posting, Like there's fake posting where you're like talking about a topic. Like I vague post like that. I try to not talk about people, but I do vague post about things that people do in general. And then there's vague posting about people where you're trying to start shit, and if people know the situation, they know who you're talking about, and I find that super shady. Like, mind your business, block and move on. Oh my god, that is so accurate, Megan. So accurate. It's so hot, I'm dying. I want winter already. Oh my god, yeah, Tarima, my heart broke because Paulina is such a sweetheart. And I also reached out to her through Instagram to say some good words to her and let her know that I support her. But I think the problem is that it's not necessarily cliquey, but it is based on friendships. And if you do only your own business on YouTube and you don't interact with other people on Instagram, on Twitter, then you are going to end up feeling a bit excluded, because the friendships that you make, they are made on other platforms where you can go a little bit one-to-one or chat more. On YouTube, you can't really interact at the level that you would be able to on Instagram or Twitter, where you have multi-threads, where you have instant messaging, stuff like that. Like, I get it why they felt like that, because I feel like that sometimes too, and it breaks my heart because I don't want anyone to feel like that. They're absolutely beautiful people inside out, but it's also a thing of you have to put yourself out there to try and make friends, or you really will feel like you're just, in your own bubble doing your own thing. Yes, exactly, Angie. Like you have to be able to talk to people outside of YouTube, else, even in the makeup community tag, people will say the names of their friends. It is a bit tit for tat, and there's nothing wrong with that, because if you are friends with a person, you automatically will put them above random YouTubers that you watch just because. And you will automatically find things that you like about them that you can praise to your audience. I think it's natural. It's in human nature to group each other, group around each other, and click up. It happens. It happens everywhere. Oh, that's beautiful, Julia. It's nice. Yes, exactly, Alex. I 100% agree. 100% agree, because I feel the same way sometimes. Exactly, Fefi. Yeah. And I feel that one thing that YouTube really helped me with was forcing myself to interact with people and to make that voice in my head that says nobody cares about you and what you have to say and mind your own business. It's been really helped me shut that voice up and try to interact with people. Because sometimes I don't want to interact with people because I'm like, oh, I'll bother them. Oh, they'll probably have 50 other DMs. Oh, they probably have 100 other things to do. But like, if you don't try, you have no way of knowing for sure if they do want to talk to you or not. And sometimes I feel that it is easier to tell ourselves not to talk to people because we're afraid of rejection. And it takes a bit of courage maybe to put ourselves out there and face the fact that they may or may not reply. Yeah, but you know what the thing is, Alex, even if you feel that you have nothing to contribute, that might not be an objective view of the situation. It might just be your subjective view of things. Hi, Elise. Glad you came. And I'm so happy you found me, Yadi. I'm really grateful to Abby and all of the other people that said my name in their tags, because it really helped me get more friends here on YouTube, like you guys. Exactly, Hannah. Feelings aren't facts. That's what my therapist said at a certain point. She said, like, what you feel may not be the objective truth. Definitely, definitely. And I'm so happy that we all found here a place where we can actually interact with each other and feel confident in doing so. So I'm sorry if you guys can hear like some noise. My boyfriend is cleaning the yard, so if if you hear weird water noises, that's what's happening. I can't stop it. Sorry. Why is it so fascinating, Isabel? Like what I mean, I would assume it gets a bit different as you get older and you stop giving a fuck. Well, and something related to keeping promises to yourself and related to feelings aren't facts. Something that I discovered in therapy was that I should not allow other people to treat me with disrespect, even if I sometimes talk myself badly about myself. So I'm allowed to call myself a dumbass, but I should not allow anyone else to call myself a dumbass. And I'm allowed to disconsider myself, but nobody else should. And it's like trying to take care of myself as I would my best friend. Even though maybe it's not that easy to shut down the voices that are still part of that self deprecating, low self esteem part of myself. But it's really helped me get more respect from people by starting to demand it, even if I feel that for some reason I don't deserve it or whatever. That is really interesting, Isabel. I like your goals. You really are goals. I know I keep kissing your ass, but it's true. It might be Amanda. It might be Amanda says, I wonder if that instinct to not reach out is a gendered thing. I think it's half and half. I think it's also shyness, but I think it's also of the, women should be seen and not heard type of thing. Bye, Alex. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. But I've definitely seen men be less insecure about reaching out and have less thoughts of, how should I contribute to this conversation? They just go at it. They just don't give a shit. I wish I had the confidence of a mediocre man. I think that's a very cultural thing, Karen, as well. And I think it's also based on the relationship that we had with our families and the relationship that we had with other people. If we lacked a certain support system or we were berated when asking for help, then of course, when we go out in the world as more or less self-sufficient adults, we see asking for help as a reason to get berated. Unfortunately, I think that the very first childhood years and adolescence years fuck you up. And then you spend a big part of adulthood trying to detangle that Gordian knot of bullshit that you went through and become a productive adult. Oh god, yeah, I mean it would be so amazing. Like if I had that type of confidence of like a mediocre man that truly had nothing to offer, I would reach my full potential at this point. Like I'm trying, especially in a corporate environment. Sometimes I have the tendency to fall back, but then there's a voice in my head going like, would any of your male coworkers fall back on this? And I was like, okay, no, so then I don't. So people at my workplace both fear me and love me, as it should be. That's so true, Mariam. I think all of us adults are like pretending to be adults, pretending to have everything sorted out. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, Fafi. You deserve better. You honestly deserved better. Fuck those people. Oh, Bethany, I'm so sorry that happened. I heard that autism and ADHD get diagnosed much less in women and young girls than they do in boys for some reason. Oh God, yeah, definitely like an adult here, adult. Like I'm a grown ass woman. I'm 26, and sometimes I still call up my mom and be like, "Mom, I need help. I need an adult to figure this for me." And I'll probably reach her age and be like 50 something and realize that an adult here, adult is also an illusion. It's always something that I found interesting and that I loved reading, that helped me figure out why I am the way that I am, why people are the way that they are. But I've never considered studying it because from a purely cold capitalistic viewpoint, it's not that well paid here in Romania. And at least when I was in college and when I was in high school and deciding what I should study, it was still a bit of a taboo topic to go to therapy and go get meds and have mental illnesses and the such. And I didn't feel that, but I did feel that it wasn't necessarily something that I would want to deal with. And it's also the fact that I'm quite empathetic and I suffer a lot with people. Like I can't watch dramas or tragedies or anything like that because I will be bawling my eyes out over fictional characters. So I don't think that I would have the fortitude to be able to handle patients every day and hear about their problems for hours and be able to remain objective and not cry alongside with them in therapy. I think that to be a productive and a good psychologist, you need to be able to detach yourself. Just like if you would be a medic, at a certain point, you need to detach yourself from all of the suffering and pain around you, or you will suffer as much as they do at a certain point. So, yeah, it's just for my mental health, I'm better off working with stuff that doesn't relate to suffering and trauma. It probably does. You probably do get desensitized at a certain point, and that's also a concern because I don't want to be exposed to it so much that at a certain point I stop caring, or I start seeing everyone as a case study, or I start seeing everyone as just parts and pieces that needs to be a puzzle to be deciphered. I really don't want to end like that, you know. Oh, oh my God, this is so wholesome, Audra and Emily. I love it. I love it. Your friendship is so cute. Yes, exactly, exactly. A standard friendship as well. I know, right, Megan? It's like there's so much wholesomeness. This is the true beauty community. Like, let's be real. This is a true beauty community. Us minding our business and simping over each other, not fucking Jefferson Skeletor and his army of minions. Oh, I'll check that out, Karen. That sounds amazing. Oh, that's really interesting, Amanda. I could never go in that field of work. You're much stronger than I am. Petra, what is an SVH? Hi, Ren. Hi, welcome. Oh yeah, that is really interesting, at least because that sounds like a good visualization. Um, oh, school psychologist. Oh, that's amazing. You would change so many children's lives. Like the school psychologist that I had in my high school was completely useless. So if you end up there and you end up being a good one, you're going to change a lot of these kids' lives, and your office is going to end up feeling a bit of a safe space for them. Oh, Bethany, I totally get it, but look, there's only so many hours in the day, and there's so many things to do, both in real life and everything. Just just watch what you want to watch and comment when you want to comment. And at the end, you honestly don't owe anyone anything, no matter how much you like all of the people that are here. Yeah, Mariam, I actually had one, but she was kind of useless, yeah. Like I would tell her about the abuse like the issues that I had at home or the issues that I had in my relationship, and she wouldn't even ask me questions. She was completely useless. Like I realized that she was completely useless after a few sessions, and then I realized one more time that she was completely useless when I went to actual real world therapy, and um and I noticed the difference in how my therapist approached it and how she made me kind of circle back to some things and realize some things. Thank you, Emily. Oh, it's okay, Tarima. I mean, we had school psychologists, but I live in Romania, and that just takes up all of our time. It's actually a meme here saying that you live in Romania and that takes up all of your time. Because it's just so much stupidity. So much stupidity. I was watching a documentary on the Romanian Revolution yesterday. I shared it on my stories as well. And the fun thing is that during the revolution, people said, oh, there's terrorists. They're trying to make the situation harder for everyone. They're shooting. And and the military was all over the place trying to catch the terrorists. And there was a huge conspiracy theory that apparently the terrorists they were actually planted by our security, like our equivalent of the CIA, to make the military appear as if they weren't shooting in the people, as if they were shooting to protect them. And then investigation a couple of years ago made like the results were that our equivalent of the CIA didn't plan those, and the military actually didn't plan that either. Apparently, they were stupid enough to send different units to different places without collaborating with each other. So they got confused and started shooting at each other with civilians in between. Because we're a country of idiots, historically. Hi, Alex. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I love their stuff, genuinely. I'm actually going to talk for 2 minutes about their products in my next Art Inspired Shop My Stash. So that's going to be there as well, because that was part of the agreement too. Oh no, Romania is like the capital of weird shit and stupid idiots. Apparently, there's been this whole disinformation campaign targeting groups of anti-vaxxers, because of course we have fucking anti-vaxxers. Why wouldn't we? And far-right groups that was led by Russian information agencies to push them into thinking that coronavirus either doesn't exist or it was like a biological weapon created by either the Americans or the world order or the Freemasons or the Jews or whatever other people want to keep Romania down for whatever reasons. And nowadays they're just protesting in the literal town square, saying that it's fascism that our government is asking them to wear masks so they don't die. And this is why we're having cases on the rise, because we are full of idiots. Full of idiots. I mean, to be honest, Emily, there is nothing major going on since the 2016 protests that were anti-corruption, and that was quite covered. But ever since, we mostly had internal bullshit, so nothing that would make international news in any significant way. No, we're fucking doomed, man. We're fucking doomed. Like, as a species, we're fucked. Our current president is actually a pretty cool guy. He's just too quiet for like the circus that he has in the parliament. She's actually pretty good looking too for his age, not gonna lie. But everyone had such high hopes on him, but he's just too quiet and too much of a gentleman to deal with the bullshit that's going on. And our whole ministry is full of fucking monkeys. If you put monkeys in a room with typewriters and ask them to write Shakespeare, you would have an easier time than to make our government write laws that actually serve the people as opposed to their own interests and pockets. And we ended up in politics. Thank you, great Gibo. Sanatate. Sorry. Honestly, I would love for humanity to reach a whole new renaissance and figure out that, you know, we could do better, but we're probably gonna end up in a post-apocalyptic scenario at this rate. And there's so much noise today. So much noise. I hate this whole pendulum thing that happens in so many political systems where you have a more lenient, lefty type of leader in one season and then the next season they go more conservative. I've noticed that happening with popes as well. You have one pope that is more lenient and then the next one is very draconic type of Catholic, and then the next one is lenient again. And I'm like, wouldn't it be better just to have something stable than have this like seesaw type of motion? Hi, Agnieszka. So happy you're here. Hi. Thank you, Cynthia. I think we're gonna wrap it up in like half an hour because we're past the 1 hour mark, and I'm so happy that I actually didn't even feel the hour pass because you were all so amazing and came here to chat with me. And I'll probably set up another live, I don't know, in 2 weeks or so, and maybe make these a staple of my channel because it was super fun just chatting with everyone one-on-one. Super fun. And maybe I'll pick like a topic to discuss next time. Emily, aren't you guys going through like a heat wave as well, or are we the only ones suffering? Have fun, Angie. Hope you enjoy the movie. As for the ex-pope, oh god, I'm so tempted to make like a bad joke about Pope's children, the Catholic Church, but I'm actually trying to be respectful to all denominations. But it's such low-hanging fruit. Oh god, yes, it's been shit as well here. It was 37 yesterday. Like I couldn't do anything. All I did was do what my cats do and just lay belly up on whatever free surface that I could find. And it's like I want to film. I've got some really big videos planned, and I just can't deal with the ring light on top of me. I just can't. I'm thinking of maybe trying to set up a filming setup here for the chit-chatty videos, so not for the stuff that actually requires my makeup to be seen, just so I don't have to deal with the ring light just bearing down heat on me. I can't handle it either. Like, if it's winter, I'll just stay indoors, put more clothing, whatever. In summer, what are you supposed to do? Shed your skin like our reptilian overlords? Like, what are you supposed to do? Because there's nothing you can do at these degrees, and it's only gonna get worse because they're killing the planet. Or well, big corporations are killing the planet. Also, you know what really pisses me off? This current trend of blaming individuals and their consumption habits for the fact that we're going through, global warming, and just guilting each other over using plastic straws or bags or whatever, when the actual focus should be on the big corporations that consume more plastic and have more waste per minute than I would in a whole week, or than any other big plastic consumer would in a whole week. Great minds think alike, truly, truly, truly. It's super annoying. Like, you've got these annoying visco girls getting all over your ass for not being 100% zero waste, but Corporations are the ones that are ruining it for everyone. Literally, there's only so much you can do, and you're still just a little droplet in the ocean of bullshit. Yes, exactly. And also, I feel that zero waste minimalism has been super gentrified in a way that you have all of these tips and tricks that come from a place of privilege, and maybe someone that is lower income would not have access to them, or would not have access to make that one big expensive change that would lead to lower consumption in the end run. And there's also this whole thing where uh, these groups are quite very elitist. So they say you're not a true minimalist unless you do this and that and have this certain aesthetic, and that you're not true zero waste because you don't use this and that. It's just very annoying. It's just very annoying. Oh God, exactly with the lack of systems. Like, I wanted to start recycling my plastic and glassware. And guess what? You can't find a place in Bucharest that would do that for you unless you're a big company and you give them like kilograms of plastics and glassware. And I don't have anywhere where to store up until all of those plastic bottles and whatever the hell I'm using get to a point big enough that they're going to find that, it's worth their time to get here. Like, how am I supposed to recycle when I want to, but I don't have any way to? Well, Julia, that's plain old sexism, probably. 100% agree, Daisy. 100% agree. Like, a lot of low income people already do all of this zero low waste stuff, but it doesn't get as popular because it's not as glamorous. And sometimes I feel that people don't necessarily want minimalism or zero waste. They want the aesthetic and the background of having the choice to be aesthetic, um to be minimalist, as opposed to being forced to be minimalist by your circumstances. And they want to follow the aesthetic as well as the movement. That's why all of them are so elitist. They don't necessarily want the minimalism or the zero waste of it. They want the power to be able to have that be a choice in their lives. I'm sorry if I sound super judgmental. If I do, I mean, that's really not my intention. But some people, not hashtag not all minimalists, but some of them definitely. I mean, for example, one low waste thing that I did was to buy a stainless steel razor. So I don't buy the cheaper plastic ones. But to buy a stainless steel razor, you need to have in your hand the money to get a good quality stainless steel razor and raffle thingies. One stainless steel razor compared to the plastic ones that I got is 7 times more expensive. So if I want to get that and be low waste with shaving, then I need to have that amount of money. It's much easier to have 1/7 of that money every day than to have every week, and just buy a new razor, than to have at a time that bigger amount of money, if I'm making any sense. 100%, Riverchild. 100%. Like, I see a lot of minimalist YouTubers fall a bit into this trap of a constant cycle of binge purge of product. Wow, Fefi, seriously? As if drying the clothes in the sun is something new. 100%, Tarima, 100%. Like, I usually don't like to dump on the Kardashians, but in that case, they enjoy the aesthetic because a minimalist home is visually much less mentally stimulating than a cluttered one. Like even in the house that I live in, so my home with my boyfriend, we try to keep furniture and knickknacks at a minimum, except for that location over here, which is the library. We try to keep that at a minimum because he doesn't like a lot of furniture, and I start feeling claustrophobic and overwhelmed really easily when there's a lot of stuff in the house. Exactly, Daisy. That was my whole point. Like, you need to have those $40 free and to not have anything more important to buy with them to be able to stop using plastic razors. 100%, 100%. We really do need to do our best and let other people do their best. Honestly, I'm not keen on menstrual cups. Like, the thought of it freaks me out. I'm considering it, but it freaks me out. I know that they're supposedly really comfortable and that they're not as freaky as they look, but I can't yet. 100% in the grocery haul. Like sometimes I look at certain stuff and I'm like, okay, but is it worth it when I could go to the grocery store and buy so much shit for it? And then there's also this thing that's like, oh well, buy more quality stuff less often, and you will buy less in the long term. And I'm like, yeah, but quality stuff is expensive, bro. It's expensive. You have to have the disposable income for it. Like if I look at it, for Romania, I have a decent income. If I go looking for sustainable clothing from Romanian brands, one t-shirt is 10% of my salary. Okay, maybe not 10%, maybe 8% or so. Do I really want to spend 10% of my salary on a t-shirt? I mean, yeah, okay, H&M is not doing the best, but at least they're not asking 10% of my salary on a t-shirt, and I'll just try to take care of it so I don't go through stuff as much as I would. Exactly, Fefi, exactly. And all of these ethical brands seem to have the same sack of potatoes type of aesthetic, and it's not gonna work. I don't have the facilities for that. Oh my god. Hi, Wojtek. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win at life and at makeup, yes. Art actually knows me in real life. But yeah, going back to my initial point, like a lot of these sustainable brands, aside from the prohibitively expensive stuff that they sell, it's just shapeless. It's just shapeless. I'm gonna look like I'm wearing a potato sack. And you know, as much as I would love to have sustainable clothing, I also want to not have my self-esteem completely gone because I'm wearing a sack of potatoes. 100%, Tarika. Tarima, sorry. 100%. And there's also the thing that a lot of this sustainable clothing recommendations come from American creators and they don't apply. Like you would ask, oh, what are sustainable clothing brands in Europe? And people would say Everlane. And I'm like, I'm not gonna buy Everlane with American prices with my Romanian salary. It's not gonna happen. Fafi, don't even get me started on the aesthetics of fashion and how stuff is fashion only on certain bodies, because we're not gonna leave this live until tomorrow. Some things are fashionable only if worn by certain body types. But if someone with another body type wears it, and we all know what I'm referring to, someone with another body type wears it, it's considered sloppy and slobby. And it's so stupid. I think it's again it again comes back, Emily, to that thing of I choose to wear shapeless clothing. It comes from a position of power rather than oh I'm forced to wear shapeless clothing, which is super annoying, super annoying. Oh man, 100%. I'm actually thinking of making a video about that as well. Like I have so many things that I want to make videos of, but those topics take so much time to research and script and consider and reread because they can be a bit spiny and touchy or triggering for some people depending on what you talk about, and you kind of have to make several passes over your video to make sure that you are doing your best at being as less offensive as possible and as less triggering as possible. And let's face it, makeup videos are much easier to do than actual content that requires me to think and research. So that's why I make less of those. They are a huge time sink and I love doing them, but I do feel a bit exhausted after them. I'm so sorry you have to do that, Emily. So sorry you have to do that, really. Oh yeah, definitely. It's on the list. It's on the list. The one that I want to post in a couple of days is about American consumerism versus European consumerism and how that affects our vanities. And Melissa, if she's still here, she was kind enough to kind of go over it for me with an American eye, and it went through a couple iterations, and I'm really keen on getting that uploaded. Oh yeah, that was such a good hi Melissa, sorry. That was such a good comment, Tarima. So for who missed that comment, Tarima said that ColourPop is quietly discontinuing the stuff that would work for darker skin tones. Not necessarily the most visible stuff such as foundation or concealer, but the stuff such as blushes, eyeshadows, darker shades of highlighters, darker shades of lip colors. And I honestly did not realize it, and it was such a privilege check for me that I didn't even notice that, because that's not something I look for. And if we want to praise ourselves for being inclusive as a brand, then you shouldn't only put foundation and powders and stuff that is optically inclusive. You should provide inclusivity in other products. For example, I think that for as much people shit on Makeup Revolution for being a dupe brand or whatever, Makeup Revolution consistently puts out products for darker skin tones in multiple formulas, multiple iterations, multiple packages. They're always considering darker skin tone people. So I'm like, okay, you shit on Makeup Revolution for duping up, but they are filling a gap in the industry. They really are, and at drugstore prices too. I'm not writing them off yet. I'm giving them a chance because coronavirus and everything. Maybe they'll get back on the right track. But if I see that in 2021 they're still in their bullshit, I'll probably write them off as well. Listen, it doesn't matter if you bought your Sailor Moon collection, just enjoy it as is. Look towards the future, not towards what you bought yesterday. Use up the products that you have. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can change now. So beating yourself up for it isn't useful at all. Just enjoy it as is. Oh yeah, Melissa, we should actually do that. The problem with ColourPop is that it takes a lot of pressure for them to do something. So for people that aren't on Twitter, Neon MUA and a bunch of other creators of color started the hashtag ColourPopMeBlack because they felt that ColourPop's feed was very whitewashed and very white-centric. And it literally took 2 months of pressure from multiple Black creators and allies to get them to start posting Black creators. And even so, they're kind of iffy about it. Like, they sometimes forget to tag the creator, but they would mention which palette they use, which is super annoying. So I'm giving them like half a year because otherwise they've been unproblematic. I'm giving them half a year up until 2021 to sort their shit, sort their inclusivity problem. And if by 2021 they're not getting their shit together, I'm done. That is a great point. That is a great point that Tarima is making. A lot of people don't have the options that Americans do with orienting themselves towards indie brands or other independent type of brands. You guys have such variety, especially, for example, with cruelty-free stuff. Other countries are way behind you guys, way behind you. I think that the only ones that would be on par with the variety would be East Asian countries such as Korea and Japan, where cosmetics and aesthetics is a huge thing there as well. But otherwise, I don't think other continents and other countries have the same variety that you guys have. You know, it depends. It depends, Karen, because, okay, so there is a lot of pressure from the US to be inclusive, right? But that's just the US. Consider other countries in Europe that are white-based majority, so not the Western ones. So let's not think about the UK or France or Spain or, you know, places where more people of color exist. They still have a market in Eastern Europe and a part of Northern Europe, maybe, where a lot of people, 95% of us are white. So they will probably keep being up on their bullshit because a lot of market share isn't just in the places where people of color are. So if there is a change, it's going to be super slow, and we need to keep putting pressure on them, even if it doesn't directly affect us. You know what the thing is, Tadima? I think that a lot of people don't necessarily realize, like, it took me being part of the beauty community for quite a while to start realizing what would look ashy on a darker skin tone versus what wouldn't. And I already have quite a good eye for color because it's not as easy as, oh, this color is saturated, so it would show up, or oh, this color isn't and it wouldn't show up. It's also about undertones, how much white base the color has. So if you really want to genuinely speak about, oh, this will look ashy on richer skin tones, then you need to either have a bit of experience seeing those skin tones in real life, or actually have a bit of an eye for color to realize that that's a problem. And I would rather people not say anything than spread misinformation and in the end hurt the cause of inclusivity even more. And I also realize that it's a privilege to be able to abstain from such discourse for lack of information. Like the fact that we don't have as much information about what's ashy and what's workable on darker skins isn't darker skin tones is in fact a privilege in itself. A 100%, Ellie. 100%. Like at this point, I'm feeling that there is a certain lack of something that's going on in corporate, either in their PR, as in public relations team, or in their concept team, because someone, knowing the current climate, should have gone, we have to make some changes, like at least do some optics, at least think of the optics if you don't want to actually think of being genuine. You know what I mean? A 100%, Karen. Like I keep hearing horror stories about Black women or women with medium to rich skin tones going to makeup artists and coming out of there looking casket ready, and I am horrified. In the year of our Lord 2020, you should be able to mix up shades with what you have in your kit and have an inclusive kit to make that shit work. It's really not that hard. It's like painting in the end. It's called the Wild Nothing Collection because they literally gave us nothing. I'm sorry. I have a lot of Black people that I follow on Twitter, and I keep stealing the way that they speak, and I'm trying actively not to because it's embarrassing to be using AAVE when you are not Black. But some things slip, such as the casket ready bit, because it is so descriptive. Oh, I love Kiki G. I love Kiki G. I do watch her from time to time. We're acting well that did nothing. Excellent. That's true. That's true. Was so disappointing. So disappointing. Because they could have done so much better. And I feel that they're being so uninspired lately. Like the Good Sport palette was so good. The whatchamacallit, Sweet Talk palette was so good. Their monochrome palettes, half and half. Some of them are good. Some of them, like I can tell that they're gonna be ashy. So I don't know why they're not pull up and do shit. I don't get it. Ellie, it comes from a place of racism because the higher ups in the board think that there is no money to be made from those darker skin tones. So it's a racist narrative that comes from thinking that all of those people are either lower income or not into makeup, which is a huge mistake because people with richer skin tones, medium to deep, they are buying makeup a lot. Oh, thank you, Yadidanki. I'm glad you liked the recreation. And I'm so happy you feel validated, Tarima. You know, you are always such a joy to see in my comments because you bring such a fresh perspective to things that I might have not thought of. And I always feel that every comment you leave, I learned something new from someone that lived so differently from me and looks different than me. And it's truly an enriching experience. And I'm really happy that you participated in this live as well. And I'm really happy that everyone else is participating because we're having such interesting, smart discussions, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. It really wouldn't. So the thing with hearing critique is related also to the circles that you encounter. So the majority of Black creators that I follow on Twitter, they were fine with color pop until maybe 3 to 4 months ago. And then shit started going down regarding their complaints about inclusivity. And that's when I started peeping that color pop. Oh, hi, Millie. That's when I started peeping that color pop might have some issues. And I think that if I wouldn't be following all of these creators, if I would be in any other type of Twitter circle, or even just would follow only half of them and not the other half, I wouldn't be as aware of it as I am now. So being woke regarding things is as much as you speaking with people and getting to know their experiences, and trying to think of it from their perspective. Because if you don't encounter anyone, if you don't speak to everyone, if you don't approach those topics, you have no way. We have no way of knowing. If I weren't in the beauty community here on YouTube, and if I would be just a regular makeup consumer in Romania minding my business, I would have never considered, oh, you know, there aren't enough shades for the richer skin tones in America, or there aren't good eyeshadows for the richer skin tones in America. I wouldn't be aware of any of these racial tensions regarding makeup and makeup application, because I wouldn't be exposed to it. I would just go to the fucking drugstore, get my mascara, and go. I would be mascara and chapstick Twitter, probably. Okay, guys, 10 more minutes and we're wrapping this up because my phone is dying. I've got 50% battery left. So just as a heads up. I'm so glad you could make it, Millie. Thank you for joining. That is enraging, Audra, and an excellent point. So Audra said they know we spend money, they just don't want us to buy their brand, or they enjoy using Black outrage as a marketing tool. So we just keep circling back to these stupid fucking, probably white male board members, because we know who the investors are, just being racist pieces of shit and associating luxe aesthetics with a certain skin tone and other undesirable aesthetics with other skin tones, which is racist to the gods and back. And I hate it. I hate it. And see, this is why we need to be following Black content creators and people of color content creators and people that don't look like us that create content, because we would not know these unless we would hear it from them. That's why it's so important to have a bit of a diverse feed on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on every type of social media. Because if you don't partake to conversations with those types of people, you have no way of knowing their experiences. Oh yeah, we definitely are a niche. Like regardless of skin tone, the YouTube makeup world and YouTube makeup aficionado watcher is very much a niche. Very, very much a niche. Like I see my friends that could be considered makeup fanatics by average standards, and they don't even have like a tenth of the shit that I do. And I try to always remind myself that there's a niche for every release. And even if I find the release boring, it might be because, well, I'm not the average consumer. And the average consumer doesn't have like 30 palettes. I'm much more ranty on Twitter than on Facebook, because on Facebook I kind of have to um, be less leftist and less feminist than I am, because I got harassed a lot by a certain group of people for daring to be a bit social justice. Like they took pictures of me on the street and shit. So now on Facebook I'm much more low key, and I actually keep my louder tendencies for other platforms where I know that it can't get back to me in real life. Also, thank you, Hannah. It's likewise for you as well, truly. Oh yeah, truly. Like I look at how my mom consumes makeup, how my friends consume makeup, and it's like they don't watch YouTube for the recommendations. Yeah, it was a really stressful time in my life, and it began with me asking a guy to not say the N word on my page. And from there on, they just made me to be this SJW feminazi villain that they thought they were fighting against. And they, like, it's been 3 or 2 years since then. And from months to months, they still wake up and talk shit about me, or try to find my videos and talk shit about them. And it's, yeah, it's just, it wasn't pleasant. So I don't censor myself that much on Twitter, but I'm definitely not as loud as I could be on Twitter, sorry, on Facebook. And I'm grateful regarding what you guys said earlier. I am grateful to Hannah and Abby and Emily and Mariam and Maitre, literally everyone in this community that befriended me or spoke sweetly about me. Like, it's just, this is my beauty community. Yeah, honestly, Melissa, I didn't pay them much mind until they started taking pictures of me in real life. And that's when I realized that they were truly unhinged. So, yeah. Thanks, Mariam. Thank you. Thank you. It's gotten it's it wasn't as scary as it could have been for me, because I know martial arts, and I was carrying a knife with me at the time. Um, so I knew that if any of them approached me with less than good intentions, I could have kicked their asses. But it was terrifying nonetheless to know that people hated me saying, don't say the N word, that much, that they would harass me on multiple platforms for months. And for what? For what? Yeah, I'm really, martial arts was a big part of what made me the person that I am today, and the growth that I had wouldn't have happened without martial arts. Definitely. I'm so happy I took those years of martial arts. Yeah, it was scary, but it's past. It's in the past. It's gone. I still get like they still try to find me and harass me from time to time, but it's not it doesn't affect me as much as it did, because I realized that they're pathetic little man children. Karen, I did kickboxing, taekwondo, and hapkido, which is a military Korean martial art, not to be confused with aikido, because they're not at all the same. Hapkido is basically the kicks from taekwondo, some punches, and then fight on the ground, like Brazilian jiu-jitsu on the ground, for example. You're tough for having done Muay Thai. I tried Muay Thai for a bit at the same gym, and it's brutal, truly brutal. Thank you, thank you. I lost a lot of strength and conditioning during quarantine, which makes me really sad, but it is what it is. I'll try to get back to my previous fitness levels and to what my body was capable of doing. It just takes time. Thank you, Tarima. I try. Yeah, Aikido is awesome. Aikido is awesome, but why I said that it's not Aikido wasn't to be insulting in any way. It's just that a lot of people confuse them due to the similar names. Thank you, Emily. Oh, it's intense, Karen, but to be fair, I would rather get punched repeatedly in the face in kickboxing than get one elbow in the face from Muay Thai. That's just scary shit, man. That's just scary shit. Okay, guys, I am unfortunately out of battery. It was amazing hanging out with you guys. I'll probably do another live in 2 weeks and let you guys know 1 week in advance, kind of everywhere. And I hope I'll see you guys there as well. Thank you guys so much. I love you, everyone. I love everyone here. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for you guys. Have a great day, guys. Bye. Thanks.